Released in 2002, Naruto was a story about gay ninja who chases after his first kiss, which inspired an entire generation of people to run like fucking idiots.
And Hiatus, a show that started because this guy didn't wanna raise his son. These two shows would later on go to capture the hearts of millions around the globe and come to be regarded as masterpieces.
And now, here comes the first big release of spring 2020, known as Tower of God. And you know, when Crunchyroll dropped their original trailer,
Some people just went batshit crazy. Sure, I really liked the art style, but I didn't understand what was in it that was making people lose their shit.
so I decided to check out the root cause of all this fuss, the Tower of God webtoon.
And I'm gonna be totally honest with you, I dropped it after 4 chapters. Sure, the premise sounded really interesting, but the art was amateurish and the presentation of the otherwise fresh story was kinda cliche. But due to the constant nagging of a certain friend of mine, I decided to give it a second shot. And boy, oh boy, dear boy, I literally completed the ongoing 460 chapters in 6 days. At a time when my exams were literally 10 days away and I hadn't studied batshit. And I came to this conclusion. Is Tower of God the next big thing in anime? And that is why I have made this video, and for the convenience of you, my viewers, I have divided this video into 5 sections. I know that some of you are not going to watch this full video, but I request you to watch until the end of the art and animation section. So welcome to my channel, Black Hole, and here we go. Tower of God has got a diverse cast of characters where each character is fundamentally different from the other, both in terms of characteristics and designs. The story is filled with complex characters where almost all of them get quite interesting backstories. No character in this world is 100% good or evil. It is a story about different people's different desires and all the chaos and confusion that results from it. However, Tower of God is not a battle of ideologies. To keep this video spoiler free, I will only talk about the 3 musketeers of this show. As we have seen in the trailer, Bam is an irregular, meaning he is from the outside world who has entered the tower without being chosen by Hidden, the guardian of the first floor of the tower. Now, hold your horses, Bam isn't like the only one. There are also other irregulars in the tower who are absolute monsters in terms of powers and abilities. But Bam's different. Unlike the other irregulars, he's quite weak and has no special powers. In the webtoon, Yuri even says that Bam is like an irregular of irregulars. Bam enters the tower following his friend Rachel because obviously he wants to get laid. Next up, we have Kun Aguero Agnes, which is such an original name, by the way. This guy right here is a devil, and you are definitely gonna fall in love with him. Behold, my viewers, for the first time in the history of anime, we have a Tsundere crocodile. Don't let first appearances fool you. This crocodile is actually hella adorable, and you will just fall in love with his antics. Over the course of the series, the growing friendship between these 3 will just warm your heart. Especially the friendship between Bam and Kun will often remind you of Gon and Killua. The villains in this story are quite interesting because each of them get quite unique backstories. And last but not the least, this show has a lot of great waifus! Tower of God belongs in the shonen genre. However, it differs vastly from other shonen in terms of tone and treatment. Here, yelling or breaking your bones.
Oh my god! Deku just broke his already broken finger! Now Todoroki, you are so dead!
Or Talk no Jutsu cannot make you win a battle. In Tower of God, rather than using plain fights which we would get quickly bored of, the characters have to pass tests through battles and games which are quite complexly designed. And just like the Nen system in Hunter x Hunter, most of the fights here are based around the use of Shinzu, which I will later talk about in the world building section. The first season of Tower of God is all about the world building. The really good part of Tower of God begins from season 2. Just to be clear, I am not telling you to skip the first season of Tower of God. Do not make this mistake, alright? Because if you do this, you will understand nothing about the world of Tower of God. It will be like you started watching the season 2 of Attack on Titan without even watching anything from season 1.
Nani?
Are those Gundams? Those Gundams are designed like naked men? Huh? Why the hell are people riding horses when you have this dancing Gundam or this monkey? Ah! Why the hell is a Gundam eating a human? Oh, I see. So they have finally made a Gundam where Gundams eat humans. You know, I think it's great that Tower of God starts out slow because this is just the natural progression of things. The Beatles didn't become the Beatles with just a single album. And you know, there have been examples of series starting out really great but over time losing what made them so special, like Naruto and Bleach. But Tower of God? Oh God, it just gets better and better. The twists and turns, the characterization, the incredible action scenes, the story, the world building, it gets better and better with each new chapter in the webtoon. The hype and anticipation that I feel when reading a new chapter of Tower of God is the same one that I feel when reading the latest chapters of Attack on Titan. If you tell me that the art style of Tower of God isn't giving you any Mob Psycho or Devilman Crybaby vibes, then you are clearly lying. Believe me, this unique art style of Tower of God, which looks really neat and polished at certain places and not really neat and polished at other certain places, will eventually improve by leaps and bounds. The current art style of Tower of God has been made the way it is because the creators are trying to remain faithful to the original art style of the season 1 of the webtoon. As you can see here, in the season 2 of the webtoon, the art style improves by leaps and bounds. And I hope the anime will also be the same. Moving on, Tower of God is being animated by Telecom Animation, who are kind of like a dark horse in the anime industry. So far, they have done a lot of behind the scenes work, and this is their big chance to come to the forefront. Let's just say what Ufotable did with Demon Slayer, and now it's up to them. They can either do this pathetic excuse of an animation or do this awesome piece of work.
Versus.
The director of Tower of God is Takashi Sano, who was a key animator in Neon Genesis Evangelion. In case you don't know what that is, it's a cult classic and a masterpiece which, besides Akira and Cowboy Bebop, was responsible for anime becoming such a huge phenomenon in the West. Now that you're up to this point in the video, can you please leave a like? When it comes to world building, Tower of God is truly the one piece of webtoons. A well-made fictional universe should feel as though there are countless stories, conflicts and significant events occurring throughout the world beyond what we just get to see. The protagonist's story should be our gateway to the world and not what the world revolves around. And when the season 2 of Tower of God begins, you'll start feeling exactly that. Tower of God has a really great power system. Just like Chakra in Naruto and then in Hunter x Hunter, in Tower of God we have Shinzu. In the tower, Shinzu is everywhere. It allows people in the tower to breathe, to have water, it can be used as food and also as a weapon. Everything in the tower is related to Shin. Even the sky you are seeing here ain't the real one, it is made up of Shinzu. So, without Shinzu, people in the tower can't do shit.
Depending upon different individuals' lineage and affinity, Shinzu can be of a variety of shapes and attributes. In shapes, it can be an orb, a spear, a shield, flowers, chains, and even this. It can be of different attributes like electricity, fire, ice, and so on. Battles in the tower are usually fought between teams, and the skills and abilities of an individual determine his position in the battle. People who excel in using weapons and physical force are called fishermen. Those who excel in sniping are called spear bearers. The brain of a team are the light bearers. Then there are scouts, and finally those who excel in the use of Shinzu are the wave controllers. Moving on, there are two types of people in the tower. Regulars who are climbing the tower and rankers who have already climbed to the top of the tower. There are also divisions among these two based on their strengths and skills. E rank regular, D rank regular, C rank regular, B rank regular, A rank regular, then advanced ranker, and finally Hokage!
My future dream is to be the greatest Hokage!
Oh man, sorry, that was such a bad joke. There are lores, histories, secrets, alliances and whatnot spread throughout the tower that will just blow your mind. The way SIU has masterfully crafted the story is mind-blowing. The world of Tower of God is alive and expansive. Every new element introduced in the story has an impact on the whole story. You are in for a grand ride. Kevin Penkin, best known for Rising of the Shield Hero and Made in Abyss, is the music composer of Tower of God. If you watched either of them, I don't need to tell you how amazing their soundtrack is, especially Made in Abyss. From the piece of music that was used in the trailer, you can get a feeling that something epic is about to begin. The opening and ending sequences of the show has been performed by the K-pop group Stray Kids. I've heard both of them and I think that both of them are amazing and really fit the tone of the show. As no information about the English dubcast has been revealed yet, so I can only talk about the subcast. Bam is being voiced by Taiichi Ichikawa. Rachel is being voiced by Sayori Hayami, who has worked in Snafu, Demon Slayer, Irregular Magic High School, A Silent Voice, Anohana, Monogatari, etc. Kun is being voiced by Nobuhiko Okamoto, who has worked in My Hero Academia, Haiku, JoJo, Assassination Classroom, Maid-sama, etc. Rak is being voiced by Kenta Miyake, who has worked in My Hero Academia, JoJo, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Overlord, and a ton of other stuff. Shibizu is being voiced by Takuya Iguchi, who has worked in Snafu, Gosek, My Love Story, etc. Lerodo is being voiced by Kenjiro Suda, who has worked in My Hero Academia, One Punch Man, Attack on Titan, etc. And that's my boy Jiraiya! Right now, Tower of God has over 300 characters, so you can easily imagine the amount of people who will get attached to the project in the future. Last but not the least, everyone please watch the show on Crunchyroll or Crunchyroll partnered website VRV. Not only because it will generate revenue for the creators, which if Tower of God becomes successful will open the doors to a wide variety of content like Unordinary, Sweet Home, God of High School, Dice and a ton of other stuff, but also because in the non-legal website certain people are spoiling things left and right in the comment section. So that's it for my video guys. Please leave a like if you like my content so far, subscribe if you want more anime and manga related content, and I hope we can climb the tower together.